Hello, Very Thoughtfuls. This is Kenesha Berry with VeryThoughtfulLife.com. Today is Thoughtful Thursday. And with my group in Beijing, I am hosting a month-long campaign called Do It Afraid. And the reason I decided to do that is because I understand many of us are not living the life we want or accomplishing our goals because we're afraid. We're just simply afraid to move, to do the thing that we think about a lot, that's in our heart. And we're afraid not because we have an experience to kind of draw from. We're afraid more so because of all the negative thoughts and things that are in our head. And listen, I spent most of my life living that way. Fear is very interesting in that it masquerades itself as something else. Fear many times will sound like an excuse. It sounds like or a good reason why you can't do the thing that it is you want to do. You know, well, how can I do that? I need to make money. Listen, there are lots of people who are working full-time jobs and still pursuing their dreams. Maybe it's like tiny baby steps. Maybe they only have an hour a week to offer or to move towards their dreams. But I want you to know that if there is a dream or desire inside of you, that you can take baby steps, small steps, have actions to move towards it. So for years I lived my life, I didn't know that. Like I just didn't have the thought or the fortitude that my small action steps, and sometimes the action step is just reading a book, could help me move and develop into the life and the dreams that I had. So I wanted to share this story with you guys because it's kind of popped up and been on my mind and my heart a lot, and I wanted to figure out a way to share it and share it well. So I remember as a kid, literally I maybe been like 7 or 8 years old, hanging out with my cousin Chris. He was my best friend when we was kids, and everyone had kind of left me sitting on this picnic table. And I was the keeper of the picnic table so that when all the friends came back together, like we could have our picnic at the picnic table and no one could take it. So they had left me in charge of making sure no one comes and take our picnic table. But as I was sitting there, I remember kind of having this moment, thought, vision, I'm not sure, because I was a kid, where I saw myself, or felt like to me God said, one day I'm going to use you. And I saw myself speaking on a stage, but on stages, and I saw myself like moving throughout the world. But I didn't understand it. I had no idea what that meant as a child. And then just throughout my life, I remember my young life saying often when people would say, Kenesha, what do you want to do when you grow up? I would say, I don't know. I just want to see the world. And my mom always thought that was strange because I'm from this small town called Ahoskie, North Carolina. I'm home visiting now. And we hadn't really traveled. When we did travel, we would only go places that we could drive to. And typically, you know, we went to the beach, we went to the same beach. When we went to, if we went further than 8 hours, it was only to go to New Jersey where other family members lived. My mother was not very adventurous, so it's not like she took me to other places. But I just always had this deep desire to travel, to see the world, And as life happened, no one around me was encouraging this vision. No one knew to tell me, oh, you want to see the world? You can try to be an exchange student. No one knew to tell me that. Or, listen, when you go off to college, you can get in these international programs and you can study abroad for a year. Like I wasn't surrounded by people who knew to tell me that. So I didn't have a clue. I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know what book to read. I just didn't know. So I just did life the way everyone around me did life or told me to do life. Go to college, get married, get a job, buy a house. You know, that typical, have kids, that typical program. And I was doing that and I felt miserable. I was sad a lot. I put on a beautiful smile. Like everybody from the outside looking in, I imagine it looked like I was doing fine. But a lot of times, middle of the night, that wake up, I don't know if you get this, but I would wake up in the middle of the night struggling with the life that I was living because it just didn't feel fulfilling. And so I remember having a period in my life where I would say to God Lord, like if this is it, if this is all that life has to offer, please help me find some way to be content with it, because this isn't working for me. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what's missing. I don't know how to make this better. But this is miserable. Like I literally would feel miserable in that there was just no joy. Happy, had my children were small and was enjoyed them as much as I could. Was married. My marriage was what it was. You know, from the outside looking in, we was two happily married people, and even from the inside, for the most part, we thought we was happy, but we was content. We weren't thriving in our marriage. We was just moving through life the way I was feeling through life, just moving through, getting by. I wanted passion. I wanted excitement. I wanted to wake up every morning happy to wake up, not wake up every morning like, ugh, I got to go to this job again today. You know, I got to cook dinner again today. I didn't want to wake up with that feeling. So I just remember that time asking God, praying, please, Lord, like, tell me there's more. And I remember it was like God showed me or took me back to me being a little girl on that picnic, at that picnic table, and him showing me the stage and the world. And I'm like, oh, okay. But what does that mean? I can't travel the world now. So now the vision is back, but there's no solution for the vision. And I thought I had to have all the answers. And so now I felt worse because now I remember that I did have dreams and I did have goals and I did want to see the world and I did want to be a speaker, and I had never spoken that to anyone. I never spoke that I wanted to be a speaker to anyone because it did not, in my mind, make sense. I didn't know what I would speak about. One time I thought I was called to the ministry, but the people around me said women aren't supposed to be ministers. So I thought, well, okay, Lord, maybe it's not you I hear. Maybe it's my flesh. Like maybe I'm trying to be something you're not calling me to. But I just knew somehow I was supposed to be on somebody's stage. I don't know, and didn't know why. So as time went on, as you guys know, my family and I, we've moved out of the country. I've traveled the world. I was like, wow, this is amazing. This is happening. But he was reigniting inside of me the vision that he had for me. He never forgot my vision. So I want you guys to know, I'm sharing this video to share with you that God never forgets the dreams and visions he puts inside of you. And so even when you feel like you can't quite make it happen, you can't quite get your mind around it, you can't quite grasp it, and Lord, is this ever going to happen? And why do you give me these dreams and visions and ideas if you're not going to let them come to be? Listen, stay focused, persevere, push, do all you can with faith, just be fervent, just do like research, read, connect, contact people who are doing the thing you want to do, because God does not put a dream inside of us to make us suffer of not having the dream. His dreams for us are bigger than the dreams that we can possibly have for ourselves. That's going to take a level of trust and a lot of discomfort to get you to the dream. He's using the discomfort and the frustrating times, and even the people that he's putting in your life that's causing you to second guess yourself or second doubt or be frustrated or angry all the time. He's using all of that to mold you into who you need to be to stand in the vision, to stand in the dream. You got to get that. You got to think like, so now here I am, however many years later. We've been out of the country for 8 years. I became a certified life coach, I don't remember, like maybe 5 years ago. But I've been walking in this thing now confidently, or at least a little bit more confidently. I would say for the last about 2 years. But I started this process the first time saying out of my mouth that I want to be a speaker. He opened a door for me to speak. But guys, you got to be willing to start speaking your visions and your dreams to someone who can hold it for you. Because when we align our words, we align our mindset with the dreams and visions that God has placed inside of us, then we're moving closer on our path towards the goals and towards the dreams. And the reason we have to speak, the Bible says oftentimes to confess your sins to one another, to confess that Jesus is Lord. There is something about the power of speaking. And the Bible talks about that too, that there is power in the tongue. But also what I know to happen is the words that come out of your mouth, like you hear them. And so what we listen to, what we audibly play into our hearts and into our minds become true for us. So what are you speaking? What are you spending your time? Are you speaking about the things you don't want and the things you don't know? Or are you speaking about the things you do want? Are you clear about, maybe you have this vision, you have this dream, but you have no idea how to get there. That's okay. I didn't know how to get there either, but you got to start aligning your mindset and your heart set to believing that the true dream can come true. And then you start reading, researching, learning more about the dream, going like, okay, I have this dream that I want to start a nonprofit and I want to help young girls. If that's your dream, talk to somebody who has a nonprofit. Hang out with people who already have an organization to help young women. This way you're learning and you're preparing yourself for the dream. And then God can start opening the doors. But this is the last thing I wanted to share with you guys. What really got me moving back in the day when I was waking up sad and miserable is I remember having this, I don't know if it was a thought, a dream, or a vision, but I remember it so vividly, where I had the like I said, the thought or the belief that, like, what happens if I was to die and go to heaven? And in my mind's eye, God takes me to what seemingly was like a big cliff. Maybe it's like from a movie scene. And he projects out into the dark sky. He says, Kenesha, I want to show you what your life could have been if you weren't afraid. And he showed me standing on stages. And he showed me doing this in different parts of the world. And after seeing that and having that thought and having that image, that became more scarier than trying to become the speaker who gets to travel the world. I'm not fully there yet, guys. I'm not there. I'm on my journey. God is amazing. This Monday, I'm in America for an extra week without my family because I've been hired. Okay, hear that word, hired. That means they're going to pay me. I've been hired to be the keynote speaker at an event at the community college here. Now, I didn't know. I did not come here this summer with this lined up and with the excitement and knowing this was going to happen. God opened some doors. He opened some doors I didn't even know he was going to open. But when he opened the door, I had to walk in there and I had to sell these people. I had to make the phone call, seemingly to them out of the blue, to say, hi, my name is Kenesha Berry. I see you're doing amazing things in the community. I just want to let you know about me. I'm a motivational I'm a motivational speaker. Actually, I told them I'm a transformational speaker because that is who I believe myself to be. I'm a transformational speaker and life coach, and I would love to come and talk with the president of your organization about his vision for your school. I make that call. I just, like, out of the blue, I made that call. Seemingly to them, they didn't know I had a friend who told me around this time they're looking for motivational speakers. But God organized all of that, guys. So I've been paid to speak in China before. I've been paid to do events in China. That's not a thing. So it's not my first time being paid to do what I'm doing. But this is my first time doing it in America. Let me think. This is my first time getting paid to speak in America. I've done events in America. But to come into an organization to be the keynote speaker, yes, this is my first here. And look at God. Just like, look at God. So don't give up on your visions and dreams. It's way more scarier to die with all those dreams and desires inside of you going into that grave than to take the chance and risk it all. What do you know? What's the worst that can happen, really, guys? Come on. People say, well, what if I lose everything? It's stuff. And you can get it back. And I'm not I'm not an advocate for telling people to go out there and drop everything. What I'm saying is, put yourself in a plan and a mindset that maybe you can't do it in the next year or the next 5 years or the next 10 years, but you can start preparing for it today so that you'll open doors towards your dreams in the next 5 years and the next 10 years. You can do that as your part-time job. I've heard of, there are times I'm up at 2 in the morning. And so if I'm awake, if God wake me up out of my sleep at 2 in the morning with an idea, I just get up and do it. And I get some people like, well, Kenesha, you don't have to go to a job in the morning. I have obligations still in the morning. I listen to a lot of speakers. I listen to people who are on this journey further ahead than me. And many of them, their evenings after they got off work is when they would, their full-time job was 8 to 5. Take care of their children. Their kids go to bed at 8 o'clock. From 8 to 10 or 11 o'clock, they was working on their dream, guys. I'm just saying, if you want it bad enough, and if you think it's worth it, and if it's keeping you awake at night, not having it, there's a way. So I just don't want you to give up. Just don't give up on your dreams and push through and know that God is on your side. So this is Kenesha Berry, and do life afraid. Stop allowing fear to still rob you of everything that's inside of you. The feeling may not go away, but just do it anyway. Like, do it scared. Just walk into the people's office, scared as all get out, and do it. Do it with your hands shaking and your knees knocking. Who cares? Just show up. Show up, because I trust, know, and believe. If you show up, even afraid, there's going to be someone in the room who's going to be like, wow, this person, I'm so glad they came. And I could tell they was a little nervous, but how awesome that they showed up anyway. So do that for yourself. Be good to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Love yourself through the process, and never give up on your dreams. This is Kenesha Berry with a very thoughtful moment on Thoughtful Thursday from BerryThoughtfulLife.com. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.